How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the newest episode of Schmoedown Central. I'm your host, Brad Thomas, breaking down the week that was in the movie trivia Schmoedown. Two big matches happening this week, the first of which was a big team match that saw Team Action take on DC Movie News. Could Team Action get a victory heading to the live event? Let's find out. As I mentioned, Team Action taking on DC Movie News. DC Movie News coming in with the 2-2 record, looking to get that one extra win above 500. Meanwhile, Team Action coming in with the 5-3 record, 2 knockouts. Again, looking to get a victory before the live event. Round number 1 saw Team Action come out strong, looking really great in the first round. Meanwhile, DC Movie News had a few little struggles throughout the round, although they still managed to keep it somewhat close with a 4-point gap. Ben goes 7 for 8, Andrew, he goes 6 for 8. Meanwhile, on DC Movie News, Mike, he goes 5 for 8. Meanwhile, Adam going 4 for 8. This led to a 13-9 Team Action lead heading into round number 2. And DC Movie News was up first. They end up spinning the category of James Bond and enter Mike Kalinowski. He goes 6 for 6, gets 11 out of a possible 12 points, crushing this entire round. Adam Gertler had the magic arm to land on the category, and Mike Kalinowski crushed it out of the stadium, proving that he knows his James Bond well. This gave DC Movie News a 20-13 lead midway through round number 2. Team Action up next. They end up spinning the category of Opponent's Choice, this putting the pressure on DC Movie News to come up with the right category to give them. They end up going with Fantasy Sci-Fi, and it kind of paid off, but not to the fullest of extent. Team Action goes 5 for 6, get a possible 8 out of 12 points, not as good of a round as DC Movie News, and they did give up a 1-point steal on question 5, but it still made it a 21-21 tie heading into the third and final round. DC Movie News up next, Mike Kalinowski going with the category of movie taglines. He unfortunately does not come up with the correct answer. Team Action up next, Andrew Guy goes with the animated category, getting that one incorrect. Adam Gertler for DC Movie News goes up with the Leonardo DiCaprio category, can't find the correct answer. Bounce back to Team Action where Ben was up with Denzel Washington. He gets that one correct, putting some pressure on DC Movie News. And since they already got taglines, their 5-pointer was movie quotes, and they pulled off a big giant answer to put the pressure back on Team Action. A very, very big pull by DC Movie News. And for Team Action's 5-point question, they get the category of 2000s movies. They end up using all of their repeats, drawing this one out. They probably knew it, they're just making a show of it, and they get this one correct, coming up with the Fast and Furious answer, and Team Action wins it 29-26. This improves Team Action's record to 6-3 with 2 knockouts. Meanwhile, DC Movie News, they fall to 2-3. Team Action goes 20 for 25 as a team for 80%. Meanwhile, DC Movie News only goes 16 for 25 for 64%. Individually, which mainly consists of round number 1, Team Action was the better team as Ben goes 8 for 9 for 89%. Andrew goes 6 for 9 for 67%. Meanwhile, Mike goes 5 for 9 for 56%, and Adam only going 4 for 9 for 44%. A very close, tight-knit match coming down to the wire. The last question gives Team Action the victory and gets them that victory heading in to face the Shirelles at the live event. It'll be exciting to see if they can pull out a victory or will the Shirelles stop them in their tracks. Meanwhile, as for DC Movie News, it looks like they are no more, as Mike Kalinowski, he goes heel. He basically leaves the league, says no one was out there looking out for him, no one was helping him out, and it was basically all him carrying the team, carrying the league on his shoulders. We'll have to see what it means for Mike Kalinowski. Will he join the Four Horsemen? That'll be an interesting thing if he does do that. But it was honestly one of the best heel turns we've seen, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. I cannot wait to see Mike Kalinowski take over this league and see what he can do as a heel, because it's very entertaining and I can't wait to see more of it. On Friday, we had our singles matchup of Stacey Howard taking on Josh Macuga. Josh Macuga coming in with the 8-8 record, ranked number 10, looking to get above 500. Meanwhile, Stacey Howard, she comes in with the 3-1 record and 1 knockout. A victory here puts her at 4-1, which really propels her high up in those singles rankings. Round number 1 was very evenly matched. Stacey and Josh going head to head, some missing, a couple lead changes, and Stacey Howard goes 6 for 8 in this round. Meanwhile, Josh Macuga, he goes 5 for 8, keeping it to a 1-point game heading into round number 2. And in round number 2, Josh Macuga spinning first, and he unfortunately gets the category of Opponent's Choice, making Stacey Howard pick his category, and she goes with the category of Dance Movies. A big hit on Josh Macuga here, as he only goes 1 for 4 in the round, gets a possible 2 out of 8 points, He also gave up a 1-point steal on the first question, but I will say it ended with a crazy center stage guess. Of course, Stacy saying that as a potential steal answer, making it a fresh movie in Josh's mind, and he goes for the wild guess and gets the wild question correct. This, of course, making it a 7-7 tie midway through round 2. Stacy up next. She spins directors twice, actually, and she only goes 2 for 4, gets a possible 3 out of 8 points. Not much better than what Josh Macuga ended up getting, and also giving up a 1-point steal on the third question. This gave Stacy the 10-8 lead heading into round number 3, where Josh Macuga was up first with the category of comic book movies. He gets that question correct. Stacy's up next with her first question in the category of 90s. She gets that one correct. Bounce back to Josh Macuga to put some pressure onto Stacy Howard. Question number 2 in that round, Tom Cruise movies, can't find the correct answer, and for his 5-pointer to put the pressure back on Stacy Howard, he gets category of directors and can't find the correct answer as Stacy wins at 12-10. This improves Stacy's record to 4-1 with the 1 knockout. Josh, of course, falling to 8-9. Stacy goes 9 for 13 for 69% for questions she was personally asked. Meanwhile, Josh goes 7 for 15 for questions he was personally asked for 47%. A close game, but it seemed like the pivotal moments was happening in round number 2. Had Josh spun a category he was good at, may have got the victory. We'll have to see what this means for Stacy Howard moving forward. The 4-run record is great for her ranking, and of course, she challenged the one and only Rachel the Crusher Cushing to a rematch. We'll have to see if she can get that victory there. She definitely deserves, I think, to be in that title contention picture, because if she gets that win, she'll be at 5-1, which will be a crazy record to not have a title shot. So we'll have to see if that are in the works at any point. As for Josh Macuga, he's just having a blast out there. He'll probably get back to that 500 record. We'll have to just wait and see. And of course, before the match, we got to see Brienne and Kalinowski have a little discussion, but it seems Mike is basically on his own. He's kind of gone off on his own. Again, we'll see if he does join the Horsemen. It's a great storyline to follow, and I'm excited to see what it actually means for Kalinowski moving forward in the Schmodown. But let's get into what's happening next week. Next week on the Schmodown, we got Adam Lavick taking on his former partner and former champion in Hector Navarro. It should be an entertaining, wild match. I can't wait to see the rivalry potentially go down between these two former teammates. Should be interesting to see, and of course I believe the winner of this will be heading into a fatal 5-way from all the scheduled Inner Geekdom matches. And on June the 1st, we got Emma Fyffe taking on Janine the Machine in the undercard match. Of course, patrons got to see this one early, but it should be an exciting match. The rivalry is heated between the Fyffe Club and the Viper Squad, so this will just be the more fuel to that fire and that rivalry. And following that, we got Emma Fyffe again taking on Jay Washington, this time in an Inner Geekdom match, and again, the winner will go on to those fatal 5-ways, which will be enjoyable. And again, just strengthening that rivalry between the Fyffe Club and the Viper Squad. It should be an enjoyable match, and some of these matches are very close to call. Not sure who's going to come away with the victory here. So for our play of the week, that's got to be DC Movie News' round 2, and it all comes down to Mike Kalinowski crushing it this entire round. He does not miss a question, only missing out on one possible point in this round. Kalinowski showed up and did not leave this entire round. Adam Gertler may have known some of these, but it was Kalinowski proving that he knew the James Bond category well. And this kind of coincides with our misplay of the week, which is again going to be DC Movie News giving Team Action the fantasy sci-fi category. They could have gave him maybe some trouble with the movie release dates category, which was up there, or even the Charlize Theron one, which is kind of a more niche type of category. Fantasy sci-fi does have some overlay with the action category, so that may have benefited Team Action in that round. And for our player of the week, it's going to be a little bit off book here, and that's going to be Mike Kalinowski, as he made a name for himself in round 2, as I just mentioned, and coming up with a big play on the 5-point question as well. This all paired with also what happened post-game, where Mike Kalinowski decides to take a chance, leave the league, go heel. We'll see if it pays off, but it may have been the best play for him, hence making him the player of the week. I know Ben Bateman had the higher percentage, but again, the whole game as a whole and the whole storylines as well, I think are playing a part in this, and I appreciate Mike Kalinowski taking a chance, going out on his own, and we'll see what happens next with him. So that does it for this episode of Schmodown Central. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos each week. Also, let me know your comments in the comment section below, what you like, what you don't like, what you agree, what you disagree with, your predictions for next week, what you think of the player, misplay, play of the week. Let me know all of that in the comment section below. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so at 94BradThomas or at SchmoedownCent to keep up to date with everything going on in the world of the Schmoedown and Schmoedown Central as a whole. I want to get more active on there. I haven't been as active as I'd like to be, but definitely follow me there to keep up to date, just everything. So that does it for this week on Schmoedown Central. Should be an exciting week next week in the Schmoedown. So that's it for this week, and I'll talk to y'all next time on Schmoedown Central.